Good evening, students. Students, anyone please reply me whether I am audible to you. Guys,
Good evening, sir.
okay. Screen is visible or not? Students, my screen is visible. Hello, anyone? Please tell me whether my screen is visible or not.
Yes, sir. Please, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, shall we start? Okay,
Directly objective software.
okay, fine. So, in this session, what we are going to see is oblique shock wave. So, actually, two things we will be seeing. One is the shock wave, and that is because of the compression wave. We can say the shock wave or compression wave, and another one is the expansion wave. Okay, today probably we will finish up to compression waves, that is shock waves. Okay, so in our last session we have completed the normal shock wave. So what is normal shock? We have seen the shock is occurred at 90 degrees, then the shock is called normal shock with respect to the flow. If yes, oblique shock wave. Okay, so we have another one type of shock, that is called bow shock. We can say that shock is the detached shock. Oblique shock wave is the attached shock. And how attached and detached shocks are formed, that we will see now. So here remaining topics what we are having is Prandtl-Meyer expansion, compressibility correction, critical Mach number, area rule, drag divergence Mach number. So these things are some of the important topics, because problem many questions will be coming from these topics and all. Okay, so first we will see what is a oblique shock wave. So here we can easily we can identify that if a shock is inclined with respect to the incident upstream flow direction, then that shock is called. So this is the flow direction, and here the shock is formed because of the compressibility effects. The shock is formed here, and the shock is inclined to some angle because of this compression corner. Okay, so because of this compression corner, what is happening means shock is formed at this edge to some infinity length, and because of that the flow is deflected. After the shock, it is deflected to some angle. That angle is theta. The deflection angle is theta, and the shock wave angle is beta. There is an angle between the axis line and to the shock, that is called beta. We can call that as shock wave angle. So here itself it is clearly visualized that a supersonic flow encounters a corner that effectively turns the flow into itself and compresses. So because of the compression only shock is happening. Due to this corner, if a supersonic flow is encountered over this corner, because of the compression effects, shock will be formed, and the shock will be in the form of inclined one, that is called oblique shock. So in normal shock wave also we have seen the parameters, because here consider this is the shock, and here we have the parameters as consider, we can consider this region as a region 1, and this is the region 2, that is before the shock and after the shock. Okay, so after the shock the region is 2, and before the shock the region is 1. So here the velocity will be v1, the Mach number will be m1, pressure will be p1, temperature will be t1, and total temperature will be t0, total enthalpy will be h0, then entropy h01, here also t01. Same way in the downstream, after the shock we will be having velocity as v2, pressure as p2, density as rho2, Mach number as m2, temperature as t2. All parameters will be considered as t. For the region 2 it will be t2, then t02, h02, etc. Okay, so before the shock there will be some values for this parameters, that's thermodynamic parameters, thermodynamic parameters. We have a velocity as some velocity, Mach number maybe supersonic, maybe consider, we can consider this Mach number as 3 before the shock, and after the shock the Mach number reduces to 1, Mach number is reduced to 1. So because of this compression effect or this shock, the parameters are changing from 1 to 2, the region from region 1 to 2 the parameters are changing. So when velocity decreases, when Mach number decreases, automatically velocity decreases, then pressure will get increased, density will get increased, temperature will be increased, right away everything is changing. Okay, so we should consider the effects after the shock. That is the main thing. We are deriving some, we will be deriving some equations or using some formulas, so that we can find the parameters by giving the initial conditions. Okay, so here we can see like normal shock wave. Here also after the shock Mach number is reduces, but it may not reduce up to subsonic flow. Subsonic, it will remain in supersonic only. Velocity decreases, so the velocity is decreasing, and pressure is increasing. Pressure is increasing, velocity is decreasing. Mach number also decreases, density increases, temperature is increased, entropy is increased, total enthalpy it remains constant, then pressure, total pressure, it decreases. Same thing for both the shocks. Okay, so now we will see the oblique shock relations. So in order to derive some relations we need some assumptions, what and all that we need to see. So here we can see the shock here, and the region 1 here and region 2 here. So the velocity over here is v1 and m1, but since it is inclined, so we can resolve this velocities into tangential velocity and normal velocity, tangential velocity and normal velocity. So the Mach number will be also tangential Mach number and normal Mach number. Okay, so we need to find tangential component, and tangential component will be denoted as t, and the normal component it is denoted as n. Okay, before the shock and after the shock. Okay, so here we can see the shock wave angle as beta, and the deflection angle is theta. And here we have this since because of this deflection angle, the flow is also deflecting like in some such a manner. So this is the deflected one, and the tangential velocity will be parallel to the shock wave. Okay, so W1, the tangential velocity is denoted as W1, and normal velocity is denoted as U1. And we are considering the tangential Mach number as MT1 and the normal Mach number as MN1. Okay, so here after the shock, everything will be considered as W2 for tangential, W2 and MT2, W2 MT2 for tangential Mach number, and same way U2 and MN2. So in okay, so why we are having this two things means, see here we are considering some one small area or small control volume. That control volume is A, B, C, D, E, F. Control volume is the flow is going inside, and it is deflected because of the deflection angle due to this shock. And we know there is a compression happening in this region. And here we have two types of pressures acting. One is the surface pressure that will be in a normal direction only, and there won't be, as I told you, here we have two types of velocities since it is a incline, that is a tangential and normal. But the pressure acting on the surfaces and all only in a normal direction, there won't be any tangential pressure, so we will neglect that term. So automatically W1 will be equal to W2, that and all later we will see. Just we can move. So here they have, see, the angle between the shock wave and the upstream flow direction is denoted as wave angle or shock wave angle beta. The upstream flow is horizontal with a velocity v1 and Mach number m1. In the same way, the downstream flow that is inclined upward with a deflection angle theta that I have told earlier itself. The velocity over that flow is v2 and the Mach number is m2. The upstream velocity v1 is split into components tangential and normal to the shock wave. So the tangential component we will consider as assume it as W1, and for a normal U1. Okay. So if there is velocity, then there will be Mach number also. So the tangential Mach number will be MT1 and normal will be MN1. Similarly, we will consider it for downstream velocities. Okay. So we know from earlier itself, for even for the shock relations and all, continuity will come into picture. Then momentum will be having three equations. One is continuity, then momentum, then energy. Okay. So here also, first we will see what is the continuity equation here. Since the flow is steady, inviscid and adiabatic flow, and there is no body forces, so the continuity equation will be reduced like this: rho 1 u1 equal to rho 2 u2. So the continuity equation for this oblique shock relation is rho 1 u1 equal to rho 2 u2. And but for momentum equation will be derived for two components. One is the tangential and normal. So for tangential component, we, as I told earlier itself, there won't be any tangential pressure. So therefore it is W1 will be equal to W2. So the equation becomes rho 1 plus okay. So for tangential component of momentum equation, W1 will be equal to W2, and for normal flow, For normal pressure and all, the equation becomes P1 plus rho 1 U1 square equal to P2 plus rho 2 U2 square. Okay. So we have here a continuity equation rho 1 U1 equal to rho 2 U2, same as like for normal shock wave. Here also in normal shock wave, we have the momentum equation as P1 plus rho 1 U1 square equal to P2 plus rho 2 U2 square. Here also for normal component of velocity, the momentum equation will be same only. But for tangential component alone, the equation will be reduced to W1 equal to W2. Okay. Then the energy equation will be H1 plus U1 square divided by 2 equal to H2 plus U2 square divided by 2. So this is the four equations what we have for oblique shock relation. So with this relations, we need to find the parameters what we need to find after the shock. Okay. So we all know, no need to consider the tangential Mach number, so we can neglect that one. So we should use this normal Mach number, that is mn1. So mn equal to, from the diagram itself we can find mn equal to m1 sin beta. Okay, that means sin beta equal to mn1 divided by n. So that from that mn1 equal to m1 sin beta. So initially we know the value for this m1 and we know the value for sin beta. That's why from this two things we can easily find this value. After finding this value, we can substitute that in the normal shock wave relations. We know the normal shock wave m2 equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into m1 square divided by gamma m1 square minus gamma minus 1 divided by 2. This in our last class we have derived this equation. Okay, same equations only we are following. Only thing we are changing is, there we will use this relations like m2 equal to, after finding m1 we can straight away we will substitute here and we will find the value for m2. Here what we have is, we will be finding this mn1. After finding the value for mn1, we will substitute, the formula becomes mn1 square. Here also mn1 square, this is m2n. So we need to find the value for, after finding the value for mn1, we will substitute the thing in this formula and we will find the value for m2n. In the same fashion, for finding the density, that rho 2, then pressure P2 and temperature T2, because in your problems and all, initial conditions will be given. That means T1 will be given, P1 will be given, then rho 1 will be given, and this m1 also given, and sometimes this sin beta will be given. Only thing we need to find the final conditions only. So by using these formulas we can easily find the final values. Okay, just write this formulas, this 5 formulas, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Just write this 5 formulas. After finishing, just intimate me. Okay, see these things and all, in the last normal shock wave also we have derived these 3 things. Okay, this is continuity equation, momentum equations and energy equations. Same fashion only we will be considering here also. Only thing extra what we have is the tangential component, that is for normal momentum equation alone. But here the tangential component both remain same, that's why we have neglected those terms also here. Okay. Okay, write this formula.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, when was class conducted on normal shock? I think I missed it.
Okay, I will upload the video. Okay, I have that video. I will upload it.
Okay.
Or else we can have some other session also. One more session about that.
Okay, sir. You can
Actually,
upload it.
2 3 classes we have taken for this normal shock alone.
Okay, sir. When was it?
I think August 2nd or 3rd week. I think so.
Okay, okay, sir. You can upload it, sir. I will.
I will upload it. Okay. No problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Notice
Please
this.
upload all previous classes in the portal.
Some of them I have uploaded it. Other videos I will upload. Okay.
Because we started from September, so those previous lessons we don't have.
So you
That's
are
why.
a new one.
Yes.
Okay. I will upload it, and if possible, we can have some sessions over that classes. So see, I will simplify it. See, these things and all for normal shock and oblique shock same only. Just remember these things also. Just note on these things. Mach number reduces because this is very much needed. In some questions will be from this only. Maximum they will ask about this total pressures only. Okay, total pressure or total enthalpy, entropy. These things they will ask, or sometimes they will ask to pick some values like or some answers will be like this. uh, Total pressure increases, total enthalpy increases, entropy increases. One answer will be. Other answer is entropy decreases, total enthalpy decreases, total pressure decreases. So they will give some wrong answer in any one parameter. Okay, so you should be very clear about this for both the shock waves. After the shock, these parameters will change. Total enthalpy remains constant. So if total enthalpy, we all know the formula for total enthalpy. The total enthalpy the term is H naught. Okay. See, Mach number m2, velocity v2, pressure p2, density rho2, temperature T2, entropy S2, total enthalpy H naught. Okay. Since it is remains constant, so H naught 1 equal to H naught 2. Here H naught 1 equal to H naught 2. Then total pressure P naught 2. Okay. Just remember these things. Okay. Then what about total temperature? Anyone? See, these things are changing. Okay. Then what about total temperature? Any idea? Students?
Remain constant.
Yes, it remains constant. Why? Because we all know the formula for H equal to, we know H equal to what? M Cp T. H equal to H naught equal to mCp into T naught. So M will be 1, so we can reduce the term. Then Cp into T naught. So H naught 1 also Cp into T naught 1. H naught 2 also Cp into T naught 2. Cp cancel. So T naught 1 equal to T naught 1 will be equal to T naught 2. So therefore total temperature remains constant. Okay. So they will be asking questions like, across this shock wave, what happens to total total temperature? Likewise the question will be. So you should mention that total temperature will remains constant, and also that if they ask for total enthalpy means you should say, or you should pick the answer like total enthalpy remains constant. Okay. Don't write total enthalpy increases or decreases. In the same fashion, the tangential velocity also it remains constant. Okay. That is W1 equal to W2. That only. See, you all noted these terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So here we have found the value for this mn2. Okay. So first we know the value, initial value like m1 we know, and sine beta we know. So by using this formula we can find the value for mn1. See, this formula we have derived from here. See, m1 equal to mn1 sine beta. This angle is beta, so mn1 sine beta. From this we have found this formula. Then after knowing the value for mn1, we found the value for mn2 by using this formula, so that we got the after the shock wave we got the normal Mach number. Then by knowing the value for this normal Mach number, we can find the value of m2. It comes from here. So this is the deflection angle theta, and the value of this much is beta minus theta. So m2 equal to mn2 divided by sine beta minus theta. Okay. Sine beta minus theta. Okay. So after knowing the value of mn2, we can easily find the downstream Mach number. Okay, after the shock. So another one thing is very important for this oblique shock wave relations and all, that is that theta, beta and m relation. That is a Mach number relation. That is deflection angle, shock wave angle and Mach number relation. This is very important relation. Why this is important means, so with these parameters we can find whether the shock is weak shock or strong shock, or it is a detached shock or an attached shock. That depends upon, we will give the conditions like suppose they will give conditions like theta greater than theta max, then theta less than theta max, theta equal to theta max. Likewise there are some conditions. By using that conditions we can easily find the shock is a detached shock or attached shock, or strong shock or weak shock, or an oblique shock, that is a detached shock. Okay, so everyone know what is the attached shock and detached shock? Okay, I have another one question for you. Whether oblique shock is an attached shock or a detached shock? Attached and detached. Whether oblique shock wave is an attached shock or a detached shock?
Sir, is detached.
Okay, so what is a bow shock?
Sir, bow shock is detached and oblique shock is attached.
Okay, now you got what is attached and detached shock. See, consider this is a corner or a wedge shape, or some missile front in front of a nose cone of a missile. Suppose shock is formed in front of the nose cone. This we can make this as a nose. Okay, shock is formed here. This is shock. Shock is formed here at the tip of the nose. Okay, like this. If shock is formed like this, means then the shock is called attached shock. If it is formed in front of this nose with some distance, means like this, then it is called detached shock. Now we can easily differentiate this bow shock as a detached shock. Okay, there's an example of a detached shock. Bow shock is a detached shock and oblique shock is an attached shock. Okay, so by this conditions and all, this theta and theta max conditions, we can easily find this attached and detached shocks, and also the weak and strong solutions. So for finding that, we are taking this geometry from the initial things. Here we have w tangential velocity w1 and the normal velocity is u1. From this we know that tan theta equal to this formula, sorry, tan beta equal to, there is the shock wave angle beta, so tan beta will be equal to u1 by w1. The same fashion, tan beta minus theta, that is after the shock, the flow deflection angle will be, or the shock will be at beta minus theta, so that tan beta minus theta equal to u2 divided by w2. For initial thing we will be having tan beta equal to u1 divided by w1, but after the shock, tan beta minus theta equal to u2 by w2. So dividing this tan beta minus theta divided by tan beta, we will get tan beta minus theta divided by tan beta equal to u2 by u1. So that we can write like this, that is equal to rho 1 by rho 2. We know rho 2 by rho 1 equal to gamma plus 1 into mn1 square divided by 2 plus gamma minus 1 into mn1 square. So this from here we can write like this, tan beta minus theta divided by tan beta equal to 2 plus gamma minus 1 into m1 square sin square beta divided by gamma plus 1 into m1 square sin square beta. This sin square beta, m1 sin square beta that we have got from here. See, mn1 equal to m1 sine beta. So we can substitute this value of mn1 to m1 sine beta, so that mn1 square equal to m1 square sine square beta. That only we have wrote here. m1 square sine square beta divided by gamma plus 1 into m1 square sine square beta. Okay, so after some simplifications, trigonometric substitutions and all, we will get the relation set tan theta equal to 2 cot beta into m1 square sine square beta minus 1 divided by m1 square gamma plus cos 2 beta plus 2. Okay, sometimes in some uh, solutions and all, there are some sums they will ask or they will give the value for beta, then this m1, and they ask us to find the value for theta. So if they ask us to find this value, means we need to substitute the value here and we can to find this value. Okay, find the value of theta by substituting the values in this formula. Okay, so this relation is called theta, beta and m relation, or deflection angle, shock wave angle and Mach number relation. Okay, just write these things, these formulas. When you finish, just intimate me. Students, tomorrow also from 6 we will be having classes. Okay, tomorrow also we have same aerodynamics class.
Same time.
Same timing, 6.
Okay, sir.
Sir, sir,
Yes.
please give me a sample or example questions for relating these problem. These.
Okay, I'll give some examples. Don't worry. We'll be solving some problems after seeing those problems, formulas and all. Okay. After finishing this, we will be solving this sums regarding this oblique shock wave and all. So I have given some assignment questions, I think so, for a normal shock wave. Have you finished? Okay, no problem. You just give that problems to others also, and try to solve those sums. Okay, if you are having any doubt, means you can ask regarding that sums. Finished?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, write this also. So here we have, you can see here, two types of wedges are here, and the condition what we are having here is, one is theta, that is a deflection angle. The wedge angle is less than the maximum theta max. Okay. Then another one is theta is greater than theta max. So if theta is greater than theta max, then the shock will be detached shock, and if the theta is less than theta max, then the shock will be attached shock. Okay, so this remember this condition. If theta is less than theta max, attached shock. If theta is greater than theta max, that is called, the shock will be detached shock. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So here we have another one conditions, like that is a flow or a wedge. Okay, but here if there is a compression corner, or having a compression corner, means then the shock will be formed here. Here also, if theta is less than theta max, then the shock will be attached shock. If theta is greater than theta max, then the shock will be detached shock. Okay. Then we have another one conditions here. See here, there is condition for beta. If beta is smaller, then the shock will be weak shock. If beta is larger, then the shock is strong shock. Okay. If beta is strong, think that first I am giving the beta value as 20 degree. Okay. And this is, consider this as beta 1, and next the beta 2 will be 40 degree. So in if beta equal to 20 degree, the shock formed will be, both are oblique shock only. And what type of shock will be formed in beta 1 condition, and what type of shock will be formed in beta 2 condition? In beta 1 it is weak shock, and beta 2 it is strong shock. Okay, strong oblique shock, and here weak oblique shock. Then if theta will be equal to 0, means if there is no deflection angle. See here, this is the upstream flow, shock is and consider this is the region, and this is the flow condition. Shock will be formed from this point. What type of shock will be formed if there is no deflection angle? See here, theta is 0. And another one condition we can draw here like this. Here theta is, say it as a 20 degree. Okay. So here also shock will be formed at this point. This is upstream flow, and here it will be the downstream flow. Here it is the downstream flow. Shock will be formed. If theta equal to 0, what type of shock will be formed? And if theta equal to 20 degree, what type of shock will be formed?
When theta is 0, normal shock.
Yes, when theta is 0, the shock formed is normal shock. If theta equal to 20 degree, the shock formed will be oblique shock. Okay. Okay, fine. We can move on to one sum. So here the sum is a supersonic airplane is flying at Mach 2. A supersonic airplane is flying at Mach 2 at an altitude of 16 kilometer. At an altitude of 16 kilometer. Assume the shock wave pattern from the airplane quickly coalesces into a Mach wave that intersects the ground behind the airplane, causing a sonic boom to be heard by a bystander on the ground at the instant the sonic boom is heard. How far ahead of the bystander is the airplane? Do you guys understood the problem? Read and tell me what we need to find. Students, so they have given one airplane is flying at supersonic speed. So it is flying at this is consider this is the airplane. It is flying at supersonic speed at a Mach number of m equal to 2 at an altitude of what? 16. Altitude is 16 kilometer. 16 kilometer from the ground. Okay. Assume the shock wave pattern from the airplane quickly coalesces into a Mach wave. The shock wave so this shock wave is formed into a Mach wave that intersects the ground behind the airplane. Behind the airplane, causing a sonic boom to be heard by a bystander on the ground. Causing the sonic boom is heard by a bystander at the ground. So here the aircraft is flying here, and at a Mach number of 2 at a height of at an altitude of 16 kilometer. So this Mach wave travels here and it hits the ground, so that a sonic boom is heard by this bystander. This bystander is standing here. Now what they ask us to find is when the sonic boom is heard here, because we know this, like in a supersonic airplane and all, when the aircraft will be move faster and the sound will be heard later only. So when the sonic boom hits the ground, or sorry, the Mach wave hits the ground, the sonic boom is heard by the bystander. The bystander will be somehow he will be standing back only, because the airplane is flying at supersonic speed, so that it will be moved ahead only. So what we need to find is the distance the aircraft traveled when the bystander heard this supersonic beam or the sonic beam. We need to calculate the distance. Any idea how to calculate this?
Sir, Mach wave means we can use the relation, so sine inverse of 1 by m angle will
Yes.
be.
For Mach wave angle, we can have this so that mu equal to sine inverse of 1 by m, right? Okay, so we can substitute the value of Mach number here, 1 by m. Okay, we can substitute the value of Mach number here, so that we can find the value of mu, that is the Mach angle, because the Mach wave is hitting the ground, that is it is moving and hitting the ground, so that it will be at some angle only, so that we can find the Mach wave angle, that is mu equal to sine inverse of 1 by m. Substitute the value and find the answer for this Mach wave. See,
Sir,
this
mu
we
is
learned already
30.
like this. The Mach wave will be traveled like this. It will be traveled like this, and it will be hitting the ground, and the sonic boom is heard by the bystander. Okay, the line which connects the all the waves is called the Mach line. All together, it will be in the form of a Mach cone. So this with the axis of the airplane or the aircraft is flying, this Mach wave creates an angle. That angle is called Mach angle. So first we can find the Mach angle mu. What is the answer for this Mach angle mu?
Mu is 30 degrees.
Mu equal to 30 degree.
30.
Okay, mu equal to 30 degree. Then, so we know the angle for Mach angle we know. Then this 30 degree. This is 30 degree. Sorry, 30 degree we know, and already we know the height at which the aircraft is flying. That is 16 kilometer. So what we need to find is the distance where the bystander is standing. Okay, so we need to find the distance. We can say this distance as d. Anyone able to find this?
Tan theta is equal
Yes,
to
right, correct only. Tan
theta is equal to 16 by
tan 30 degree
x.
equal to 16 by
X.
d.
Yeah, D. Sir.
Okay, here d. Okay, so d equal to 16 by tan 30. 16 divided by tan 30. Please tell me the answer.
Sir, D is equal to 16 root 3.
16 by tan 30.
Yeah, that's 16 root 3. Na?
Yes, sir. What is the answer in numbers? Because we have here 30 kilometer, 27.7 kilometer, 50 kilometer, none of the above. Answer. Just tell me the answer.
27.7.
27.7. Others got the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
27.7.
Correct only. So the distance of the bystander is 27.7 kilometer. Okay. So we can move on to the next sum. So consider a supersonic flow with m equal to 2, this Mach number equal to 2, and the pressure P equal to 1 atmosphere pressure, and the temperature equal to 288 Kelvin. The flow is deflected at a compression corner through 20 degree, and shock wave angle is 53.4. Calculate the downstream Mach number. Can you able to solve this sum? I think everyone noted the formulas and all. Anyone able to solve this?
Sir, downstream Mach number is Mn2.
Yes, Mn2. So they have given only the initial conditions, right? Guys,
Yes.
Yes,
anyone
sir.
know about this gas tables and all?
What's a gas table?
Yes, gas tables. Do you guys know what is gas tables and all? Gas tables, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. So what you do means just take your gas tables. Just for your clarification about this oblique shock wave only, we are solving this sum. Okay, this type of sums they won't ask, because if they are asking some sums means only they will give the values for the what and all need to be considered. Okay, because here only thing they have given is m1, then theta, then beta, p1 and t1. Okay, that only given, but we don't know the value. See here we have the formula, like by knowing the value of m1 and sine beta, we can only find the value for mn1. Okay, after finding the value for mn1, we can find the value for mn2. Okay, like this we can solve, or else we can solve this by using the gas tables also. By using gas tables we can by substituting r, because we know the value for theta and beta. So theta, with this theta, beta and the Mach number, we can easily find the value for this normal Mach number mn1. Okay, so with the mn1 we can have the value for mn2, mn2, then p2 by p1, t2 by t1, p0 1 by p0 2 by p0 1. Okay, these things we can find the answer. After finding the answers for all those things from gas tables, we can substitute the values in m2 equation or m2 formula, and we can find the value for Mach number. Okay, or else we need to use this formula. See here m1 we know, sine beta we know. So first of all we can find this mn1, right guys?
Yes.
Can
Yes,
you able
yes.
to follow me?
Yes.
Okay, so first we can find the value for mn1. So by substituting the value of mn1 here, and gamma, we know gamma equal to 1.4, we have, because they didn't even mention anything, so we can easily consider that it is a year, so that we can substitute like 1.4. So after substituting these two values, we can find mn2. Okay, so after finding this value, we can substitute here, that is m2 equal to mn2 divided by sine of beta minus theta, so that we can easily find m2. Am I right? Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I'm in one.
yes, so just try to solve those solve this and find the answer for m2.
Sir, how we use gas table?
That I will show you. Okay, I will tomorrow, in tomorrow's class we can see that any one of the sum we can solve regard with that gas tables and all. You guys didn't study this gas table and all? Didn't use this?
Yes, sir, we studied.
Ah, yes, no problem, then it will be easy only.
Sir, gas table is like ISA.
What?
ISA. International
Like that only. Okay, so we can wind up here. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also, daily we will be having classes. Okay, in for aerodynamics. So everyone please attend the classes because
Sir, please confirm the answer. Answer is 0.647
for what
MN2.
MN2 0.64.
7.
You are near only, no problem. Correct only. Then substitute for M2 formula. Substitute in M2 formula and find the answer for M2. That is easy only.
Sir, is M2 1.19?
Yes. 1.19. Correct only.
Okay.
So if they are asking like this type of sum means you can able to solve now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we can stop here. We can continue our class tomorrow also. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and all we'll be having classes. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
You told that you had given assignment questions, sir, but it is not visible in our portal. So, like, where have you given?
Actually, I have sent my PPT in group, that WhatsApp group what you are having now, Gate Aerospace. In that group only I have shared my PPT. In that PPT only there are some questions. You can just check that questions.
Okay, sir, I will check it there.
Okay. So we can stop here because I'm out of charger.
Sir, upload the videos, sir, the previous video.
Okay, I will upload it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.